Hello, and welcome to Law of Signs. I thought I'd give you a little English flair today, especially at the beginning. We'll probably be changing again because A, I don't think my accent is that great, and B, I get tired of talking this way, so here I go back to my normal voice. So now, just want to make this statement before we begin. Today's lesson is brought to you by Clemson University. Why? Because I'm using the official Clemson orange color for today's lesson. So with that being said, let's look at law of signs. Law of signs is used to give us sides and angles of triangles that are not necessarily right triangles. So we use this on triangles that we do not have any angles that are 90 degrees. And as you see set up, there is the law of signs in the middle. It's the proportion A over sine of A equals B over sine of B equals C over sine of C. Remember that the small lowercase letters are the sides, the uppercase letters are the angles. And as you're doing these triangles, the small lowercase letters are always across from the corresponding angle. So you'll see that little a is across from the big A angle, and B and C correspond the same way. So as we're looking at this problem, we can set this up, since we know two angles and one side, we can set up a proportion and solve for the remaining pieces of information. So anytime you have a problem that says solve, that means we're trying to find all sides and all angles. So the first, to start out, we have side B. So our first proportion is going to be what we know. So we're going to use B over sine of B. And then since we're given angle A, we have to use A over sine of A since we know that information. So now filling in what we know, 37.9 over sine of B, which is 105, is equal to A, which we don't know, little a, over sine of 33, which we're given. So now we have to solve this for little a, and that's going to give us the information that we need. Now in order to do this, we're going to take both sides and multiply it by sine of 33. In doing that, that cancels on the right, and on the left side we will take the remaining information and piece it all together. So both sides multiply by sine of 33. So on the right side that'll cancel, just leaving a, and we'll put together on the left what we have. So we have 37.9 times sine of 33 divided by sine of 105. And when we punch that in our calculator, we should come up with an answer of 21.36. So we'll call it 21.4. So side A is 21.4. We know side B, and we know angle A and angle B. Now we have a couple more steps to do to find angle C, which should be very easy. Angle C plus angle B plus angle A all equal 180. So if I take 180 and subtract angle A plus angle B, then that should give me angle C. So 180 minus 105 plus 33, and simplifying that would be 180 minus 138. So C is equal to 42 degrees. So we're filling in our pieces of the puzzle. We know A is 21.4, and we know C is 42 degrees. So the last piece of the puzzle is to find side C. We find side C by using law of signs. We can't use Pythagorean theorem because it's not a right triangle. So we go back and you do the same thing, but we use the law of signs for C over sine of C. So going back to our original problem, and we can use A or B, doesn't matter, but let's use B since we're given B. B over sine of B is equal to C over sine of C. So plugging in what we know, 37.9 over sine of 105 is equal to C, which we're looking for, over sine of 42. That's the angle we calculated earlier. And so taking this, doing the same thing we did above, multiplying by sine of 42, we have 37.9 sine of 42 divided by sine of 105. Punching that in our calculator will give us C, and C in fact is 26.3. So there will be our final piece of the puzzle, 26.3 for little c. And that's how you use the law of sines.